Hey everyone, welcome in to another daily editorial here on the KE Report, a special video daily editorial as I am getting an update from Aztec Minerals, chatting with Simon Dyakowski, President and CEO of Aztec. I'm bringing Simon on because the company just announced yesterday, October 1st, the start of the drill program at the Tombstone Project in Arizona. To Aztec Minerals is traded on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol AZT and on the OTCQB under the symbol AZZTF. We're doing this in video form because I wanted Simon to walk us through the news release and especially focus on some of the images and the map that outlines where most of this drilling is happening. And this drilling is happening on or more around that west side area. We've talked a lot about the targeting that's been ongoing there. So, Simon, take us through this drill program that's now just started, please.
Hey Corey, thanks a lot for having me on and accommodating the video interview here. And this drill program for us has been, many months in the works, and really it all started back in 2023 last year. And so the reason I was hopeful to be able to show some news releases here is just to kind of walk investors and potential investors through the sequence of events here that got us to where we're at today, which is having started a big, hopefully a transformational drill program that got underway yesterday. So if I can just take you back in time, if you can see my screen here, we were drilling at Tombstone last year. And, I won't bore you with the specifics of each and every drill hole that we put in last year, but we had some fantastic results. Our first hole last year hit 1.5 meters of over 3,400 grams per ton silver, a wider zone of 7.6 meters over 700 grams silver, and a wide intersection of gold silver over 125 meters. We then followed up with 36 meters of 5 grams gold equivalent and 45 or about 40 meters of 2 grams equivalent. So, really good results throughout the program. Unfortunately, had an aggressive seller in the market at the time, and sort of, the market, I think, overlooked what we were drilling, which was, one of the better programs of any of these explorers down in the Southwest. But one thing I want to highlight really quickly is that during that program, we had an opportunity here to buy this claim called the Westside claim. So, Tombstone, anytime you can buy claims, you have to jump. And we had an opportunity. It came up for sale. And notice where it is in relation to the pit. So the acquisition of this claim then led us to this very detailed study of the Westside Mine that's on this claim, and then a whole bunch of the mines that are underneath the Tombstone district, which we now have control over most of. So what that led us to is in 2024 is an announcement back in, I guess it was in April here, April 22nd. That was my birthday. We put it out probably for good luck that we found this west side area step out, so step out zone, so to speak. So it's kind of a dog leg left if you're a golfer to kind of to look at this pit design here, and that yellow hashed outline, that is a pit outline that we have found the schematics for. And this was scheduled to go into production in 1982, around the time that the Hunt brothers had cornered the silver market and had driven it up and then got caught, and then it collapsed. So we surmise that given the silver-rich nature of this zone, we believe that the operators, when the silver market kind of temporarily crashed in 82, they went back to the contention zone, which we see on the right-hand side of our screen here, and then unfortunately lost their mining license in the mid-80s and never had a chance to go in an open pit mine the west side plan here. So you can see that there's a little west side expansion here along the Flora Morrison Dike just off the pit, and then the Sulphurette, Boss Dike, West Side Fissure, Tribute Dike, etc. So it's a target rich environment, and what we've done, just to keep it moving along here, in general terms, is we've 3D modeled everything as best as we could. We've raised money, and we've now determined that at some of these intersections of these structures, which we have on a simplified map here. So, where this red, pink, and blue intersect, there are historic underground mines, some of which went down to 240 meters deep, and some of them had like almost outrageous silver grades. Like the Sulphurette mine, for example, had an average grade of 70 ounces per ton silver. The Westside mine, which is over here, which we acquired along this pink line here in this green box, that one had an average production grade of 67 ounces silver and 1.274 ounces gold. So these are huge high grade numbers. And so what we've done is we've now fundraised about $2.5 million. We have contracted the most powerful and suitable RC drill for this kind of tough basin and range geology, tough rock to drill through when you're in the sediment layers. We've figured it out now because we've drilled this project now 3 times. So on our fourth go, we have this like massive machine. It's a SRAM T685 RC rig, but it's mounted on a Sherman tank track. And so this thing is about as powerful as you can get, and we believe it can have no problems with not only getting through the sediment rocks here, which have a lot of siltstone and sandstone and faulting in them, but also if we hit voids like mine workings, tunnels, or even stopes, we can get through them and regain circulation. And the first time we drilled this project back in 2020 with this similar machine, we got through 100-foot void with no problem. So we really, wanted to be careful. We didn't want to rush anything. And so we've been talking about this since April, I guess, since my birthday. And here we are in October, we just started drilling. But, the timing for us, had to be this way because we just did not want to compromise on the quality of the drill targets here and the likelihood of reaching them. So these green boxes here are kind of target zones to start. So we'll be stepping out into that west side expansion over here off the pit and then heading further northwest in this zone. And then we'll probably end up going all the way over to the Westside Mine and then pick away at some targets along this anticline here and at the intersection of these structures here along another anticline. So it's all 100% set in stone, but we've started stepping off to the west, and the goals here are to demonstrate ultimately that the contention area and the west side area are all one and open pittable and probably a lot bigger than the market has been giving us credit for thus far to date in our exploration of the project.
So the last time we chatted, Simon, you outlined that this program will be a 12-hole, about 2,000-meter RC program. That's just the initial plans here. You said it's not all set in stone here, but where will you be starting? Do you go the full way out to that newly acquired claim block out to the west, or do you start close to that contention drilling and move west?
Yeah, well, we're going to start east and work our way west. That's the logical place to start. I mean, and the last drill program that we did, was actually intended to be a little bit bigger, but because we had, the wrong drill, we had to cut it short. We had to kind of cut half the meterage out of that program. So we're finishing where we left off, but we're going to grow very significantly from there.
Now, how deep are these holes going to be? Do you expect them going overly deep, or are they all going to be around the average depth simply because you haven't drilled this area before?
No, they're going to be a little deeper. So, we know that the system has roots, right? I mean, the big play here eventually is to drill these CRD targets at depth, but we're going to go 200 meters deep on a number of these holes, and then have the opportunity to go deeper on a subsequent round of drilling. So they won't be the typical 100 to 125 meter holes that you've seen at Tombstone to date. They'll be much deeper.
Okay. Simon, what do you think the turnaround time is going to be at the assay lab? What's the overall budget here? Give us some more information around when we can expect to see results and how much of this is funded for the company.
Well, it's all funded. The budget to our joint venture, so we own this in a 77.7 22.3 joint venture. We own the majority and control. The entire budget is around, I think, 900 and change Canadian. So we're on the hook for 4/5 of that effectively. And it's fully funded. We have over $2 million in the bank, so it won't even spend half of our money. And we expect to have pretty quick turnaround times. We've got a really unique arrangement with the labs down in this part of the world. So we actually have the gold numbers sometimes get back to us. I don't want to promise that this is how fast that they'll come back, but we've had them within a week of shipment before the gold numbers because they actually fire assay the gold separately from the spectral, the ICP assays that they do in another lab. So we can get, we can get a pretty good indication if, the chips that we're pulling up are mineralized or not through that gold assay. But let's say, we should have results coming in, hopefully, in about a month's time, and then we'll have several batches of results that will, likely see us through to the new year with robust news flow and hopefully, a few discovery holes to talk about.
Okay, and I guess just to reiterate here, look, this is an old mining area and district, and you've done a lot of drilling around that contention pit in that contention area, but this is true, pretty much new exploration for you, right? Any sort of mineralization that's hit would be considered a new discovery.
Yeah, I mean, we look at it that way. I mean, it's brownfield exploration in the sense that there's historic, really historic underground mines all around here, like going back 130 or 40 years. So it's a pretty high percentage chance, I think, that we're gonna hit something. But yeah, it would be truly stepping out from this existing model and just really proving the model that it's a lot bigger and hopefully gaining the market's confidence to afford us some flexibility to go and drill a lot deeper, hopefully early next year. But we haven't committed to that yet. We don't want to distract from what we're currently doing. But this is a really robust model. Our team is excellent. I mean, they've been chipping away at this for a year and a half now. Nobody's ever put the amount of detail into the Tombstone district as we have. We have modeled stopes, underground maps, from the 20s and 30s, production data from the 1800s and from the 1900s, like the 20th century, tunnels, geophysics, like it's all in there. It's very robust, and we think it's the appropriate way to advance this project at this time. And hey, now it looks like we're maybe getting a bit of a gold and silver market too. So that has been great. I mean, we haven't had that in our previous drilling. It's been kind of fighting the market, but perhaps at this point we'll get finally the tailwind, and perhaps our shareholders will get rewarded with a higher valuation.
Oh, we've talked a lot about what this bull market for gold and even silver's recent breakouts too. So all encouraging, but hey, this is a drill program that has just started up. Thank you very much for walking us through the news release and some of the images here. Important for all of us to understand how you got to this point and the targets moving west on this project. Simon Dyakowski, President and CEO of Aztec Minerals, again traded on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol AZT and on the OTCQB under the symbol AZZTF. Simon, thank you for the update, everyone. Please email me any questions you have for Simon. I'll get him to address those, and I'll also follow up when we start to see some results. Simon, thanks again for your time.
Thanks very much for having me on. Have a great day. Cheers.